You turn my morning into dancing. Your love changes There's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
Yo, Happy Friday, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Vivian Davis, good morning. How are you doing? Chuck B is in the house. Brian Vlammy, good morning, guys. Thank you for popping in. Look,
Morning.
Kimberly's in the house.
Going outside to play.
Yeah. Oh, so we are out in Greendale, um, and we're excited. It's been awesome. It's been an awesome trip so far. Um, so I was reading this passage this morning, and yeah, I just got to read it to you. It's because it's so good. I want to be up in. I'm in Psalms 46, which is just an amazing. Like, read the whole thing. There's like these three sections, and they're all so good. And I want to be in the first section, but I just have to read for you hearing the second session, second whatever. I can't talk. I just try to read verses 4 through 7 to you because it's just so good. Yeah. Anyways, there is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of of the Most High. God is in their midst. Um, She shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. I just love that. So good. But let's jump back up to verses 1 because this is where the Lord was convicting me this morning. It says, God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, there's a big therefore, guys. Therefore, we will not fear. Ooh, come on. Yeah, go blue. I see you down there, Bert. And yeah, I love Chuck's profile picture. Anyways, all right, back on to the scripture. God says, God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth give way, though the mountains be removed and into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. Like, we're not going to fear. I just love that. Like we're not going to fear. We're not going to be afraid. Why? Because God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. And I want to say that, or I'm going to come sit down for a second. So I'll tell you a story about yesterday. We were on our way to come here, and there was this moment where we were at a restaurant or a rest stop, and we're walking up. I'm walking. Pastor Tom is right next to me, and there was this guy who was coming towards us. He was going, towards the building, and we were going towards our car, and he felt highlighted to me, and I noticed that he was limping, and everything in me, I was like, man, I should pray for this guy, or come talk to him at least, right? What's up? And I didn't. I completely missed it. I kept walking past him. And then I'm sitting in the car thinking like, man, I should have talked to that guy, And then he actually feel the same thing. I should just jump out of the car. Maybe I have better signal over here. But yeah, at that point I was just like, you know what, I missed it, and I want to move on. And so then, but I did say, so I make this rule with myself: if I feel like God told me to highlight somebody to me and told me to talk to somebody, and I say no, I can't say no the next time. And so I just verbally, I verbally make this statement to Pastor Tom, and I say, hey, the next person. That is limping or something, like God highlights to him, I got to talk to him, right? So now I have accountability, and I have to do it, right? And come to find out that, like, Pastor Tom, like the Lord was given a word for Pastor Tom about that guy. Like when he walked out, he just felt this joy emanating off of this guy. And so I was feeling like we should talk to him. Pastor Tom was feeling like there was just this joy, and I missed it. We missed it, and it was just like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to talk about this for two reasons. One, just like because God's going to get the glory, right? I know that God sent somebody else to talk to that guy, but now I can encourage other people in that sometimes we miss it. Sometimes, like, yeah, you feel like God is calling you to talk to that waitress, talk to that person in front of you, and you just miss it, right? For whatever reason. And I think sometimes, like, so I was talking to Pastor Tom about this actually earlier. There's some times where like somebody's highlighted to me and I just immediately go. Like it's just like there's no question, there's no other thought. Like I feel something, I sense something, and I just move on it, you know. But then oftentimes, not every time, but oftentimes when I'm with a group of people, I pause or I process like, all right, I'm feeling this thing, but now I'm kind of taking in consideration of the group I'm in. Will they be okay with it? What are they gonna think of me? And it's just like, man, like just like this scripture is like, man, I shouldn't fear. Like nothing. Like if God's highlighting somebody to me, then that's it. Like it doesn't. Nothing else should matter, right? Because either like the person that I'm going to talk to is going to be blessed by whatever the Lord wants to say to them, or the group of people that I'm with is going to be encouraged to step out and you know what I mean? Like there shouldn't be a question. There shouldn't be any kind of reservation when it comes to preaching the gospel or witnessing. If God puts something on your heart to step out and do it immediately. But sometimes, yeah, we get in our own heads and we talk ourselves out of these things. And it's like, why? Like what? Because God's going to get the glory, you know, no matter what, God's going to get the glory. And so I wanted to share that with you because, man, how powerful. Yeah, it's powerful. Right. First off, like not to get ourselves into condemnation because so often when we miss it, right, and we felt like God told me to talk to this person, and now like we have this conviction, and the enemy starts off as this like, hell, you shouldn't do that. Like, no. How do you know that was the Lord? You're just gonna look foolish, right? Like he's just this guy that's telling you not to do something, but then as soon as you listen to him, as soon as you say no, I'm not gonna do it, then he becomes this antagonist. Like, oh, you know you should have done that, right? You messed up. You messed up. God he's so angry at you. He's mad at you. But we just gotta see him for who he is. He's a liar. He's a deceiver, and he sucks. And so let's not listen to him at all. And let us not get into this place of condemnation when we mess up, when we fail, when we see the Lord told us to do something and we missed it. It's okay, right? Because I know that God is going to highlight that person to somebody else down the road, and they're going to come talk to him. But there is a lesson to learn, and I can grow up, and God can say, all right, next time, I want you to step out, right? And it's never to lead us into this place of condemnation, but he's working. It's the process of sanctification. He's narrowing this gap between what we say and what we believe, right? And pretty soon he's going to fine tune us, right? And we're going to get better and better, right? And so every single day we're getting better and better, and stepping out more and more, right? Like, and so now, and it was so cool because Pastor Tom. You come over here.
Come on. Preach it, brother. Preach it.
Yeah. It was so cool because this guy was highlighted to me, right? But now, talking to somebody saying like, man, like I have this conviction, and then I can hear his side of the story, like, oh man, God was highlighted to him too. And so therefore, that just confirms in both of our spirit that we were feeling something, like that God was in this moment, right? And so now next time we feel that, we're going to be more confident knowing like, yes, that was the Lord.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That was him. And now I'm not going to miss it this time. I'm going to step out and I'm going to have a God appointment.
Just remember that discipleship is a teacher teaching.
Yeah.
God's just teaching us. I like what you said. No condemnation.
Yeah.
It's get up. Did you learn something? Let's go again. Let's go again. Let's go again. Right? It's like Jesus sending out the 12 and sending them again. Send them again. Send out 72.
Yeah.
Don't let Satan get in there with you. You stink. You're the one that sucks. You know God's mad at you now. No,
Yeah.
it's we've learned something, and now we're sharper and we're wiser.
Yeah.
Good job.
So be encouraged today, guys. Be encouraged. I really feel like somebody who was connected to this stream was probably convicted yesterday about something they missed, and God wanted me to share this very story with you today. And so I hope this is an encouragement to you. And let Jesus be seen in you today. And if you did miss it yesterday, you can't miss it today. All right, we're holding each other accountable. That's the process. That's what we're here to do. We're here to walk each other home and encourage and strengthen each other. So love you guys. We'll be right back here with Elder Glenn for some prayer. You see my lovely bride back there and my baby. Anyways, all right. Love y'all. Peace.